Hi everybody to this energy update for the month of May. What awaits us energetically and astrologically in May? And it's going to be a very intense month because we have extremely powerful energies that will have a great impact on everybody of us and also on world affairs. And a warm welcome. If you want a weekly energy update, please subscribe to my free newsletter. You find the link below the video. Likewise, there is a very special webinar, also totally free, on May the 28th about the big shift in 2023. What are the most important energies and astrological aspects this year? And also, when will we experience first contact with ETs? It is absolutely free and you can subscribe now. It is on May the 28th on 6 p.m. German time. In May we have mainly 3 intense energy events, and of those events I will speak today. The first will take place on May 5th. On May 5th we have the Lunar Eclipse at 20 degrees in the sign of Libra and in the axis of Aries and Libra. And I have been spoken in other videos about the importance of this axis, that this axis is connected to the subject of war and peace. And since the lunar nodes in March last year arrived in the sign of Aries and Libra, the theme changed from COVID to peace and war. This was the beginning of the Ukraine war. And those lunar nodes are very important. They are crossing points between the solar orbit and the moon orbit. And where they cross, this is a very important moment when the sun and the moon arrives at this point, that this is connected to our consciousness. Because the sun and the moon are the most important energies for our own perception and our own awareness. And this axis is connected to the theme of war and peace. And I speak of Vedic astrology. This is a completely different system than the tropical Western astrological system the most people know. The Vedic system is referring to the actual position of the stars in the sky. And this is deeply connected to our own energy field. And your horoscope shows you your individual soul plan on a higher level that you made. And this connects also to the transits of the planets at the now moment, and because of the mixture of the planets in the sky and your horoscope, this makes possible that we can make predictions, and we can make those predictions for countries and for the world and also for every person. Why is this lunar eclipse so intense? It is a penumbral lunar eclipse. Penumbra means that the moon has some light left. The moon will not be fully dark, like normal when a lunar eclipse happens. It will be visible on many countries on Earth. And wherever an eclipse can be seen, this means on this part of the Earth it is more powerful, more meaningful, energetically, and it will be visible in parts of Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, the Pacific, Atlantic, and parts of Southeast Asia, and also, I think, Antarctica. The moon will be in the sign of Libra, in the lunar mansion, and the lunar mansion are called in the Vedic Astrology Nakshatra Vishaka. Vishaka is the star of purpose. It gives you energy and power, and it gives you the strength to fulfill your purpose. It is the energy of a passionate and a courageous warrior. But before the moon enters the lunar mansion of Vishaka, the moon will transit over Ketu. Ketu is the lower lunar node, and Ketu is connected to your karma. And karma means it is a disbalance in energy you created on earth. It is nothing about a past life or something like this. It is all about what have you created on earth. And a lunar eclipse remembers you. It brings an emotional impact that can help you, that you better understand what you have created on earth. It's all about your own negative beliefs you nourish, your negative thoughts and your negative feelings. It is all about letting go. Moon and Ketu tells you, please let go those attachments on thinking and feeling negative. And maybe asking yourself, why do I choose negative ideas? What can they teach me when I choose them? And is it now the time to let those energies go? A lunar eclipse is always connected to emotions, and with Ketu it is all about, can you let them go? And in the sign of Libra, it is all about relationships and partnerships and how you communicate with others. What is your way you see yourself in relation to other persons? What is your self-image you created? And when the moon arrives in Vishaka, which has the symbol of a triumphal arch, you should not doubt anymore and keep connecting to your inner purpose and start believing in yourself. And if you have planets in this nakshatra Vishaka, then this eclipse is very intense and important for you. And especially if you have weak planets in the nakshatra Vishaka, then you will feel a much deeper and intense impact of this lunar eclipse. And the sun is on the opposite house when the lunar eclipse will happen, in the sign of Aries, in the nakshatra of Bharani. And Bharani represents the birth process. And we are all led this time through an intense form of rebirth, of transformation. And this is not always a nice and easy process to be born. And also Mercury and the Sun are now very close together. And Mercury is all about awareness, and the Sun brings light to it. And that means we can perceive things that were hidden before. Because we all have our own filters, like sunglasses. You filter everything you see, you experience through your own filters. You process those informations. And you will only label those things like you want to label them. You give everything the meaning that is in consistence with your own belief system. Everything exists, but you only can sense and see those things that your filter accept, and you never can see everything. It is always a colored impression you get because of your filters. It is all about what you want to see, you will see. And what you want not to see, you will not see. And when Sun and Mercury are so near, it is possible to get glimpse of a bigger awareness. And there, in the sign of Aries, is also Uranus, the planet Uranus. And Uranus stands for sudden realizations. And this energy mix, because Mercury is also retrograde and they are so close together, this energy mix can cause a lot of problems, also with your nervous system. You might feel hypersensitive, especially to external stimuli. Or maybe you are nervous, or you might experience gastrointestinal problems with your heart or your breath. And look in your horoscope what themes are connected to the axis of Aries and Libra. That is where the biggest upheavals for you will take place, related to the lunar eclipse. Look what are the life issues that are triggered emotional, and where you can make the biggest steps forward now. And if you do not have a Vedic horoscope, you can order one in our online shop. There are also a lot of free chart calculators on the internet, but they are often not really correct. So if you want, you can order a horoscope in our shop. Why this eclipse is also so intense is because there are so many planets right now in the sign of Aries. In this axis of the eclipse, we have there Mercury retrograde, Jupiter, Rahu, and also Uranus and the Sun. This stands for an important and a big transformation. It is like the universe wants that you can reach a higher level of consciousness. Uranus is connected to your higher soul aspects, and Uranus remembers you that you are independent and that you can allow yourself to live more from your heart and to connect to your inner guidance, your inner independence. And also in the month of May, we have Rahu, the upper lunar node, and Jupiter. Jupiter is getting closer to Rahu, and Rahu moves backwards in the zodiac, and so they will be conjunct exactly on May the 31, the last day in the month of May. And those two global players together, they will connect at 9 degrees in the sign of Aries. And there we have also a very important fixed star. It is called El Sheratan. And this fixed star is often responsible for impulsive action and also destruction. So I think the current situation with the war on the world will be more intense when this conjunction exactly will happen. We will have Jupiter and Rahu for a longer time in the sign of Aries together till October, till the end of October. But now it is the most intense, important connection they have at the 31 of May. There is also a very important new moon on May the 19th, and I already made a video about it, how this new moon might affect the financial markets. If you are interested, please feel free to watch this video. The new moon takes place at 4 degrees in the sign of Taurus, and there is also a fixed star on 3 degrees in Taurus. And this fixed star is called Algol. And Algol is related to conflicts and also to a change of leadership. I know I have talked about this before, that we will experience a big change of power, also on world leadership. But the most important is to understand and to awake to our own power and to live a life from our own inner leadership and not so much depend on the outer world. But this is a long-term process we are all in. But we will also see on the outside maybe certain changes in leadership positions. Not much has come to fruition till now, but the energies are very strong in this field. Another important and beautiful thing is about Jupiter. Jupiter becomes visible again in the sky from May 12th. And the ancient cultures gave this visibility of a planet more importance than the transits themselves. And that means when Jupiter becomes visible, his energy will be more noticeable again. And Jupiter represents our own inner guidance, our own inner light. Jupiter stands for wisdom, for optimism. And he becomes visible at 5 degrees in the sign of Aries. And this first degrees in the first sign of the zodiac, they are very auspicious. It is an immense good and a special era. And it brings also protection for us. And it is also associated with the master energy of Pallas Athena, one of the main goddesses of the Greek mythology, the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. She is the patron of arts and science. And this master energy of Pallas Athena helps us to bring the heart and the brain more together. And this will activate our inner power and will calm down the extreme, aggressive mass energies of conflict and war. Pallas Athena is also connected with nature. And now in the northern hemisphere we have springtime, and if you go outside, everything is green and everything is growing. There is so much positive energy in the nature just now. It is so much about healing. And if you connect to the color green and those fresh growing plants, this can help you to balance your energies on a much deeper level. And so I wish you a bright and a peaceful May, and please share this video with other people and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I love you. Thank you for listening.